Welcome, basketball fans, to Pollard Gymnasium for tonight's game between the Speedway Sparkplugs and the Lutheran Saints. I'm joined here with Coach Chuck Bennett before the game. Coach, once again, it's a COVID season. We'll talk about that in just a minute here. But let's talk mostly about your most recent game, which was Tuesday night against the Martinsville Artesians, a 4A school that came in, a late addition to the schedule because of all the COVID issues. Tell us about that game, if you would.
We're just happy to have a game. Again, I know Brian Avery was on a couple weeks ago, but he's done a great job of finding us teams. And there's Coach Kip Staggs has been there a while, and he was the athletic director, and he came up here, so we got a game in. And to our kids' credit, we did a great job. We won 60-50, but we kind of carried over our effort that we had at Lebanon. That was a tough game for us from the standpoint that they're a little bit bigger, but our kids played so hard and so tough, and we carried that over. And we were able to, even though they had a 6'7" kid and a 6'4" kid, we only got out-rebounded by 3. Shot the ball really well. Our assist-to-turnover ratio was 1-to-1. We had 11 assists to 11 turnovers, which is good for us. Shot the 3 ball well, shared it well, but our kids did a nice job, kind of shifted some defenses, but we also picked up our man pressure, and just a real credit to our kids playing tough. Because, you could come back after a couple tough losses against Covenant and Lebanon and not be ready to play, but our kids were. So real proud of them and their effort.
Good. I know you played hard and very competitive at Covenant, and I know at the Lebanon game it was a tie score going into the fourth quarter, so it was good to see you carry that over into Tuesday night with a win against Martinsville. Well, you got a team coming in tonight, Lutheran, a conference game. They're coming in with a record of 16-3. 3 losses were Greenwood Christian, also Ritter, and Warren Central. They're a top 10 rated team in single A. First of all, tell us a little bit about the Saints tonight.
Well, you're going to see a very athletic team. I'd say probably as athletic a team that we played all year. Covenant was very athletic as well, but these guys, you're going to see a nice balance of outside guard play and then inside play. They have a really good athlete, Joe Fabian, 6'4" on the outside. He's a really good wide receiver too, multi-sport athlete. Their point guard's Montez Clay. He's quicker, probably as quick a guard as we've seen all year long, and they got another kid that can really shoot at number 32. And then inside, all season long we've talked about this posing a problem for us. Not that we're going to make excuses or anything, but they do have a 6'5" kid named Cameron Patterson, and then a 6'7" kid named Maurice McGee, and they are very athletic. I mean, we're going to have to put a body on somebody tonight to make sure we try to control the boards. But having said all that, we're looking at this as a great challenge. Yeah, they are 16-3. They're 4-1 in the conference, but we stand 1-2 right now. We still have 4 games to play. We really feel like if we continue the way we've been playing as a team, tough, we really believe we have a shot to win our last 4 conference games, maybe get to 5-2. We could put them kind of back in the conference race too. And so we've got that. And I know you mentioned the COVID earlier, and anybody that's watched games all year. Tonight we're going to be down 2 seniors, Carson Harris and Jacob Wachter. On Wednesday they got close contact trace, so they're out for the 10 days. Certainly going to hurt us. Both are starters. Both are great kids. I hate for seniors to miss, but having said that, it's going to give us a chance and an opportunity to see some other kids to step up.
Right.
Jackson Smith's going to start tonight. Of course, he's 6'4", so that's going to help us size-wise a little bit. Evan Owens, another senior, is going to start. And he's battled all year long, been great coming off the bench. And then Cale Bennett, he's been playing off the bench too. And then we're going to have to bring up Creighton Bennett and Landon Short off the JV. And, we really feel like a couple days of practice we've had a chance to prepare, watch them, and I think we're excited for the opportunity. Sometimes when you go down people, other kids really do step up. I know they say next man up and all that, but our kids have really embraced, I don't know if I say adversity, but we talked about how our trials, we don't choose our trials, but we can choose how to respond to them. And so we're just looking forward to getting out of the court, and really I'm looking forward to, you're going to see some different defenses tonight. We feel like maybe we might get away with a little bit of triangle and 2 under 2 guards, play a little zone and man. So it's going to be interesting, and we feel like the longer we can stay around, the better it'll be. So
well, good. One last thing before I'll let you go down to the locker room. I want to remind you of something. happened in 2016. Late in the year, a similar situation in a sense. We faced the #1 team in the state in here.
It's Lapel Bulldogs.
Lapel Bulldogs, who eventually won the 2A stand championship, and I believe it was a 51-41 final score, total out of the blue. Probably not to you guys, but to a lot of people. So you never know. That's why they play the game.
That's why they play the game. Bruce Hutchins said if they knew what the score was going to be, they wouldn't play the game.
That's
so yeah,
exactly right.
so we're looking forward to it.
Okay.
Really looking forward to watching our kids, go against the challenge.
Sure,
so yeah.
sure.
Yep.
Well, good luck tonight, and we will be back in a little bit with the play-by-play, and we'll talk to Coach Bennett after the game. Good evening, basketball fans, and welcome to Pollard Gymnasium for tonight's game between the Speedway Sparkplugs and the Lutheran Saints. Lutheran coming in tonight with a record of 16-3. Sparkplugs, fresh off a victory Tuesday night against Martinsville here at Pollard Gymnasium, come in with a record of 4-8. We got some COVID issues again tonight, but we'll get to that in a little bit. We'll get to the starting lineups in a little bit, but something at the table looks a little different tonight. Tom Smith is not here tonight, fresh off of the second shot of the vaccine from Moderna and wasn't sure. So I'm joined tonight by Assistant Superintendent John Disney. John, first of all, welcome, and also happy, what number birthday today?
25.
25.
25th birthday is today.
I was within a couple, I wasn't sure.
25.
25. But seriously, it is John's birthday today, so congratulations on that. And
well, thank you
glad
very
you
much.
can join us up here. And you know, we're late in the year here. We've had a lot of health issues throughout the year, but it's just good to be back in the gym. And Coach Bennett refers to this all the time. It's just good to be playing games.
It's good to be smelling that popcorn and listening to that ball bouncing, and it is. Feel bad for the kids that have, they don't have COVID. They're just been considered a close contact, and it's just a terrible thing we're in right now, but it's just one of those realities that it's better to be safe than put students or kids in a position where they could maybe catch this horrible disease. So I feel sorry for these kids, but it's just one of the things we're living through right now.
Absolutely. Tonight, Carson Harrison and Jacob Walker will not be with us because of contact tracing. Again, they don't have it, but you got to be safe. You got to be on the safe side. And I know you're kind of the go-to guy here with the corporation with that. And you know, we've really done a great job, I think, of the number of days that we've been in school. And I think at this time presently, I'm not even sure we have a high school student that's reported to have COVID at this very time.
We have high school, I don't think we do have one right now. Yeah, we do. We have one kid, it's a high school right now that is positive. But yeah, we feel very blessed. We have the only Marion County school that has been in school every day since the start of the school year. That some of the township schools haven't been in yet live. So we've been in every day. Our kids are doing a great job of wearing their masks. They're doing a great job of staying away from each other, and our principals and teachers have set up our classrooms so kids are socially distanced, and we just feel blessed that we've been able to go to school every day. Our kids have been able to go to school today every day. We've had these situations, but that's what's going to happen when you put 500 kids in one building and another 60 or 70 staff members. It's going to happen, but I think we've done it as good as anybody out there as far as keeping our kids and keeping our staff safe.
Good. Well, let's move on then to the basketball end of it. I know you grew up around the Louisville area, Kentucky. Where'd you go to college to play?
I did grow up in Louisville, Kentucky, and played high school basketball in the Louisville area, and I played basketball at Hanover College. Many moons ago, played at Hanover College. Was very blessed to play for a Hall of Fame coach in John Collier. Dick Naylor was assistant coach down there at the time, and we had a great team when I was there, not because of me, because we had some really good coaching and really good guys. And one of those is Rick Roseborough, one of our principals here in our school district. So just had a great time. Got to play against Coach Massaru when he was at Franklin when I was down there. Just very blessed to be in
I know you guys
Hanover
made a lot of frequent trips to Kansas City to the NAIA tournament at that time.
We did. We got to play the national tournament twice down there. So that was unique to play in what was called Kemper Arena at the time. I don't know if it still exists. Kemper Arena, and they'd bring 32 teams from around the country during that 1 week, and they would seed them, and we would play. We'd play in one site, and it was a unique experience to be able to do that.
I can imagine. I know Coach Massaru's talked to me many times about their trips down there. So we're going to have the national anthem here in just a second, and we will give you we'll listen to PA announcer Don Watson for the starting lineups.
Indiana Crossroads Conference varsity matchup between the visiting Saints of Lutheran and your Speedway Sparkplugs. At this time, we ask that you please stand as we honor our nation.
We very quickly will give you the starting lineups for tonight's game. If I get interrupted, we'll transfer right over to Donnie Watson. For the Sparkplugs, starting at a forward tonight, 5'11" senior, number 20, Evan Owens. A guard, number 24, a 5'9" junior, Reese Walker. Another guard, number 30, Nate Metallic, a 6'3" sophomore. A third guard, number 32, Drew Valentine, a 5'8" senior, our leading scorer. And it is first varsity start tonight, number 40, Jackson Smith, a 6'4" junior. Again, Plugs tonight will be without players Carson Harrison and also Jacob Walker. We will join Don Watson as he gives the starting lineup for the Saints. They come in with a record of 16-3. A couple of common opponents. They have defeated both Beech Grove and Cecina. The Plugs have lost to both.
First for the visiting Saints, starting at one guard, number 2, contest play.
Contest play averaging 11.6 points a game.
Guard number 4, Joe Lundy.
6'4" senior, averaging 11.4 points a game.
At 4, number 5, Aaron Patterson.
6'5" sophomore, averaging 9.
Number 32, Nicole Lee.
A 6'2" junior,
At center, number 35, Maurice McGee.
a 6'7" senior. Once again, the Lutheran Saints are 16-3.
Now here's the starting lineup for your Speedway Sparkplugs. Starting at one guard, number 24, Reese Walker.
Reese, 5'9" junior,
At guard number 30, Jason Nye.
6'5", 6'3" sophomore.
Guard number 32, Drew Valentine.
Drew leading scorer, as I said, a 5'8" senior.
Forward number 20, Evan Owens.
Evan, his first start.
Forward number 40, Max Protect.
So, Coach, a little bit of a different lineup tonight. You know, Tony Dungy's statement was always next man up, and gives the guys opportunities that usually don't get into the starting lineup.
Sure does. We wish Jackson well tonight in his first varsity start, and we hope he plays well and takes advantage of the opportunity that's given to him tonight. You know, I feel good about the Sparkplugs. If we just take care of the ball, take good shots, you never know what can happen in a high school basketball game.
Coach Bennett said that the Saints were a very, very athletic team, so we'll see how the Plugs handle their defense. Plugs starting off in their standard man-to-man defense, once again at a major height disadvantage tonight.
I don't know if the Plugs have played anybody they're bigger than this year, have they?
We had one game earlier, we played Crawfordsville, and they were large. Mitchell Lee on the first basket of the game. Saints also in the man-to-man defense. Ball batted around, goes out of bounds. Awarded to the Sparkplugs. John, we're talking earlier in the JV game about out-of-bounds plays and how helpful they can be if run right.
It's a great opportunity when you know where the people are going to be to get a good shot. Sparkplugs here are being patient. Best thing they can do is use the clock to their advantage, and it seems like that's what they're doing. Got to be a foul, yeah.
You know, I remember the many years ago. Of course, you're only 25 years old, so you
That's
probably
true.
wouldn't remember this, but the year that North Carolina State won a national championship, not by holding the ball, but being very patient. And of course, 1985, when Georgetown was defeated by Villanova in a very, very deliberate before the shot clock game. So I think a lot of people would rather run up and down the floor, but you got to do what you got to do to win the game.
Yep. Sometimes when you play against teams that are more athletic, taller, it doesn't mean that you can't win the game. You just have to be smart in the way in your shot attempts. Good thing about the high school game, it doesn't have a shot clock. As long as you can take care of the ball, and make good decisions with it, you put yourself in a position to win the game. Great shot there.
And I never won a shot clock in high school. I just think
No.
we don't need it. A lot of people do, but I'm not in favor of it.
Perfect example there for the Plugs. They took their time. They got a really good shot there from the talc at the elbow. Knocks it down.
Shot was missed by Maurice McGee. Drew Valentine on miss inside the lane.
Drew will be all right. He just needs to settle down a little bit. He's had 2 open shots, and he normally hits those. He'll be fine.
Good basket by Maurice McGee. Only averaging around 4 points a game. 6'7", senior.
Lutheran was out of bounds there. Goes back to the Plugs.
You know, we're talking about being patient. When I coached, we were in the Mid-State Conference with Avon, Mooresville, Franklin, Whiteland, and we also played Ben Davis and Decatur Central, and we had to do that. To compete in a lot of the games, we were not able to run up and down, and it was difficult, but at the same time, it was very challenging.
Yeah, so, you know, I used to love nights where you'd play against teams that were really better than you athletically. You know, their record was better than you. To me, those were great challenges for, you know, to see how you matched up against people that had a better record than you.
Yeah.
Don't shy away from those. Look forward to those opportunities.
And you know, our boys varsity plays a lot. We played Martinsville on Tuesday.
Great shot there. There's our out of bounds play we're talking about.
Yes. We don't want to give it away. Nice move, nice
That's a
feed.
good pass.
Coach Bennett told us, depending on how the game would flow, that we might see some defenses tonight that maybe we haven't seen this year. So we'll keep
You're not
our
going
eye
to
on
say
it.
Coach Bennett's going to play a zone at any time.
Well, it might even be different than that.
We're not talking about triangle and twos and
Well,
boxes.
we might be.
Okay. All right.
We'll see what happens. A little step back jumper. I think they're going to get Jack Smith for a foul. Lutheran leads about 4 minutes to go in the quarter, 7-4. And once again, if you've just tuned in, Plugs are without 2 starters tonight, Carson Harrison and Jacob Walker. Contact tracing because of COVID, and we hope they're okay, and hopefully they can get back as soon as possible.
I think so far the Lutherans only missed 1 shot. Good job, Nate.
Yes, it was. Very good. Evan Owens on the dribble, hands off to Drew Valentine.
Numbers weren't there, advantage wasn't there. Great job pulling the ball out by the Plugs and getting it in their set. Perfect. Great shot.
Bingo. That's Drew's first bucket of the night. Again, the Plugs are falling back into the zone. Zone defense's intent is to slow the offense down a little bit. Of course, you have weaknesses, but
you know, one of the great things about a zone is it usually makes them shoot from the outside.
yes.
Bad thing about a zone is it's usually harder to rebound out of because you don't have your guy right beside you. So did exactly what we wanted to do there, made him take an outside shot.
Has its advantages and its disadvantages. And
There's some teams, especially at the high school and college level, that's made been very successful running zone, and that's the only thing they run.
It's kind of the neat thing about basketball, and I guess all sports for that matter, but you can win different ways. You can win playing man-to-man, i.e. Bobby Knight, and
Yep.
you can win playing zones, Syracuse.
Yep.
You can win full court pressing, UCLA. There's a lot of different ways. You got to match what you got talent-wise
Exactly.
with what works best. And that's why high school coaches do a great job, because they don't choose their players like college coaches do. They basically
We seem to have the Saints here a little bit confused.
Yeah.
They hit a real good shot there.
Brandon Brooks into the game for the Saints. Lutheran picking up a little bit more intensity on defense. But what this should allow the Plugs to do, get some backdoor cuts here.
Yeah. Plugs doing a pretty good job of spreading the floor there.
Yep.
Foul on number 5, Cameron Patterson.
Foul was on number 5, Cameron Patterson. That was his second foul of the night.
Cale Bennett's in for the Plugs for Jackson Smith.
Cale again, a 5'10" sophomore.
Looks like the Plugs are in their flex offense, taking their time, trying to get a good shot.
Nice cut.
Great job. Great job. Teams that want to run up and down sometimes aren't very patient defensively, so they'll take chances.
Yes,
those open up opportunities.
I used to refer to that as like the 10-second defense. They were down and rebound comes off to Evan Owens. Quickly down the floor. Cale Bennett on a missed three-pointer. John, I'm not a fan of the floater. That was a floater, and it's Billy Keller for the Pacers used to really be good at that shot, but that takes a lot of
practice.
Exactly.
Takes a lot of practice and also a lot of touch.
Yeah. And we got another foul against the Saints.
Foul on number 21, Ethan Cutstock. Back in the game for the Saints, number 2, Montez Clay.
Montez Clay back into the game. Again, he's the leading scorer for the Saints, averaging around 11. They're a very balanced team.
Yeah, I was looking at their stats. It doesn't look like they have one person they really rely on. It's a sign of a good team. Oh, he's got the numbers here.
Good shot. It's a good shot.
That's a good shot. Yeah, we'll take that shot all day long. And our best shooter has a wide open three. We'll take that all night long.
30-second timeout taken by Lutheran.
30 seconds. We got 26 seconds to go before the end of the quarter. Lutheran leads 10-9, and coaching staff decided to use a timeout here, probably to go for the last shot of the quarter, I would imagine.
I would guess so. That's their strategy. The good time to get a change of defense so that they know
Absolutely.
don't know what they're preparing for.
A lot of times when Tom Smith is up here with us, we try to guess what's going on in the huddles, and it's particularly when you get to the last quarter. We're going man-to-man.
It's also a good time in the game to try something that maybe you wouldn't try just to see how they're going to react to it.
Exactly.
Dang it. He lost a handle on it, and then able to put it up and get fouled.
Basket was by number 34, Caden Patterson. That was his first bucket.
Fouls on number 40, Jackson
Fouls on number 40, Jack Smith.
Well, our idea of going for the last shot didn't work. That's maybe why we're not coaching
That's
anymore.
exactly right.
Foul on number 50,
Foul was on Cale Bennett, not on Jackson Smith. Five seconds.
Good shot.
No foul. And that's the end of the first quarter with the score Lutheran 13, Speedway 9. Points for the Sparkplugs in that first quarter. Reese Walker, 4 points. Nate Metallic had 2. Drew Valentine had a 3-pointer for a total of 9. For Lutheran, Maurice McGee, averaging only around 4 points a game, had 5, way ahead of his schedule, his average so far. Caden Patterson, 3, field goal and a free throw. Mitchell Lee, 2, and Brandon Brooks, 5'10" sophomore, 3. And you said exactly correct. They're a balanced team. It doesn't look like they depend on any one person. Again, when you're 16-3 and you play a single A schedule and you have the athletes that look like this, you're going to have a good team.
Yeah, they've got, when your biggest kid on the floor steps out and hits a 3, it's probably a shot you want him to take, continue to take. But if he hits it, it hurts.
And you know what? Looking now, these are true stats. That was his first 3-point attempt of the year, according to the stats I got today off of Max Prep.
The fact that we left him that open is probably good coaching.
Exactly.
We want to see if he's able to hit it. And
sometimes you want to see guys hit that first shot.
Exactly, because then they think they can hit them all.
Exactly. We've both coached in situations where that's happened.
There's a guy that keeps saying, "I'm open, coach. I'm open." There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that you're open. The other team is scouted. No, you don't shoot very well.
And I think right now, John, we're seeing our triangle 2.
That's what it is.
Now, for the listening audience, we got 2 players playing man-to-man and 3 players playing a 1-3 zone, 1-2 zone, excuse me. Ethan Cutshaw in a 3-point basket. Be interesting to see how they handle it.
You take your 2 best players usually and start chasing them. Make sure they don't hurt you. And
Exactly.
we got to let the other players try to become shooters and they hit a 3.
And another way you beat any type of a defense like that is you get the ball down the floor as fast as you can. And you try to get a bucket before they set up. And so they hit a 3 and got a fast break. Free throw here. Free throw is missed. That foul was on Drew Valentine. That was Drew's first of the night. Ethan Cutshaw at the line, hits the second one. (17-9). Nice
Great
drive.
move. Great hitch move there, kind of hung in the air.
Nate's 4th point of the night. Looks now like we're back to a regular man-to-man.
It's done exactly what they want to do, is get them to kind of take some time off. I don't think my guess is they're not a real patient team offensively. They can't score in 1 or 2 passes. That's a great left-handed move by Patterson.
They're averaging around 60 a game. Turnover. Cale Bennett smartly let that ball go out of bounds.
Yeah, Patterson looks like that kind of kid that just put together well, strong. Looks like he can jump well. He could cause us problems inside.
Plugs playing a 5 open, trying to get penetration in the middle of the floor. Saints have really picked the pace up. Basketball is Mitchell Lee. Metallic on a three-pointer.
That shot was at least 2 steps beyond the
Yeah.
3-point line. That's one of those, oh yeah, great shot, great shot.
Yeah, I don't know if we saw enough of it, but you hit a really good point earlier when you said sometimes you put a jump defense out early in the game to see how a team is going to attack it, and then later in the game, maybe at halftime, you can talk about it. Here's what they're probably going to try to do. So we'll see if that comes back.
You know, probably the worst thing that could happen for us when we went to that kind of jump defense was a kid that probably is not used to shooting a 3, shoots a 3 and hits it.
Yeah. Basket was by Lee. That's his 6th point in the game. That actually was a defense that when I was coaching here, we used several times. We didn't use it all the time. I don't think you win consistently. I mean, you don't win consistently. But I know Notre Dame, when they had Digger Phelps, when UCLA was really good, we'd play a triangle too. We played it several times. I know once against Greenwood. And usually you play it against a team that maybe has 2 outstanding scorers, which really is not the case tonight. Or you might play it against a team that has an outstanding scorer, but a really good ball handler. You want to take the ball handler out of the equation.
Yep.
So there's different ways you can play it. And again, what you do is you guard 2 guys, you take 2 guys out of the game, and you play a little bit of a 1-2, or you can invert it and play a 2-1, but you kind of want to match up with your outside.
Yeah, your best hope on that is for one of or both of those guys to not have the ball in their hands ever.
Exactly.
And then you can overplay them because you got to help them back door. And you make somebody else handle the ball that's not normally
Sure.
used to handling the ball.
And you're doing something that perhaps an opponent's never seen all year.
Yep.
So how are we going to attack that? So we'll see what happens later in the game. 25-14, Lutheran on top. 4:30 to go till half. Drew Valentine, very intelligent play, tipping the ball out, but Evan Owens was not able to catch up with it. Plugs back there man-to-man.
Looks like Lutheran's in a spread offense also. They put one guy on the inside, 4 out. Try to use their athleticism to penetrate.
That was on Nate Metallic, his first. So many offenses today are going to dribble drive, and then dish off, and trying to get the ball to the paint. And
It's really a skill that's kind of it's a great save by Monteith's play.
And it just shows you the emphasis on the fact that you've got to be able to contain the ball. Nice
Great job there
defensive
for
play.
Jackson Smith. A score this time down.
Nice block.
Yes. Just shows you the difference in size that Lutheran has over Speedway tonight.
You know, John, I just saw this today online, another person whose birthday was today, he's not 25, I think he's 83, Bill Russell. And the reason I just saw that was because of that block shot right there. Probably the most prolific shot blocker in the history of the NBA.
Yeah.
Right up there. And the thing about him,
That's got to be a charge. Boom.
It's a
Good
charge.
Evan Owens taking a charge for the Plugs. Takes some guts to stand in there and know a guy's
Absolutely.
going to come in there. Great job. Anticipate that, get your feet set. You just know you're going to get bumped.
And it's more than just a turnover. It's like a dunk. I mean, it gives you extra fire.
It sure does.
They got numbers. Saints are going to the board a little bit harder than they were early in the game.
They are. They're using their size to advantage. Yes. They're getting the ball inside.
We got a foul, number 34, Patterson. You know, the thing that we talked before in the JV game, we're talking about books that we enjoy reading. And if you ever get a chance, Bill Russell has written a couple books. They're very, very intelligent. One's called Second Wind. But he was an artist on blocking shots. The ball didn't go out of bounds. The ball would be tipped. Jackson Smith would be tipped to a teammate. And if you ever get a chance to read anything about Bill Russell,
that's so important. You know, as a big guy, that one of the things that I was told was, if you block the shot, do what you can to keep it in bounds. Your team has a chance to get the ball. If you block it and it goes out of bounds, it really is not. I mean, it intimidates the other team maybe, but you know, keep the ball in play for the advantage for your team. So, Plugs get the ball down quick, throw it out for a three.
Alley-oop pass, no good, a little traveling. And you know what, the sad thing today, it is sad, but and I'm not blaming ESPN for this, it's not their fault, but the highlights now are either dunks or the shot blocks that end up 15 rows in the bleachers. You give the ball right back to the team that had it. And I don't know, this doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But you're exactly right. Try to keep the ball in play. And
you know, Coach once told me that if you could shoot the ball, if you could consistently hit a 15-footer, you're going to play. Even if you could be a little bit of a deficit on defense, if you can shoot, not necessarily shoot a three-pointer, if you could just hit a 15-footer consistently, they're going to find a place for you to play. So young kids out there listening to this, don't start by shooting three-pointers. Work on that 10-footer. Work on that, work on that bank shot inside. Get to the point where you can hit it 10, 15-footer. If you're wide open consistently, you'll find a place to play on a basketball team.
Great advice. We talk many times, shooting makes up for a multitude of sins.
Yep.
You're exactly right.
Makes coaches look good when you got a guy who can shoot.
A miss by number 1, Tristan Smith. Plugs going back to their flex offense, at least for one possession.
You know, the Plugs are not out of this game.
No.
I mean, they're
no. It's a nice shot. Shot by Brandon Brooks, very nice. Drew Valentine right back at him, missed, but a foul.
Foul by
on the floor.
30 seconds left.
5th point of the night. 31-18.
Looks like Plugs are back in the zone.
Looks like a little high-low action. Nice run.
Just don't have the answer for that kid that's 6'7" in the middle.
10 seconds. Ooh, nice block. All right, that's the end of the first half. With the score, the Lutheran Saints 33, Speedway Sparkplugs 18. We will be back later with the second half of play.
Speedway fans, February 20th for continuing.
Welcome back to Pollard Gymnasium halftime where the Lutheran Saints lead Speedway 33-18. Scoring in the first half for the Sparkplugs. Reese Walker, a couple of 2-pointers for 4 points. Nate Metallic, 7. Drew Valentine, 3-pointer and a 2 for 5. Jackson Smith, a 2-pointer for 2, a total of 18. For the Lutheran Saints, very balanced scoring. We talked about that earlier in the game. Probably their best player, Joe Fabian, 6'4" senior, held to 2 points. Cameron Patterson, 4. Brandon Brooks, 7, leading the Saints. Ethan Cutshaw, 4. Mitchell Lee, 6. Caden Patterson, 5. Maurice McGee, 5. So the Saints, 7 players in the scoring column. Once again, a total of 33. Coach, your comments on the first half and what we need to do?
Well, kind of like what we said, they're very balanced. They don't rely on one player. The Plugs they get the ball to start the second half. We got to start the same way that we started the game with, and that is we need to take our time, take good shots. We can whittle away with this if we can take some time off the clock and make sure that our shots are not hurried, and we'll see how they react to this. You can definitely tell that the bigger team, the more athletic team is Lutheran, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the team that will be the most patient if things start going the wrong way.
You're exactly right.
Let's see what the Plugs do here to start this second half.
I think we kind of slipped a little bit there in the middle of the second quarter, and Lutheran really picked up the pace. Tried to run, nice set play. They just picked it up and outscored us in the second quarter, 20-9.
Plugs tried to go back door there, it was just deflected out of bounds back to the Saints. That's what we can't have. We can't have empty possessions. We got to we may be able to miss shots, but we can't have empty possessions.
Morris McGee on a miss. Metallic on a left-handed layup, pretty.
There you go.
Bobby Knight always said one of the most important parts of a game was the first 5 minutes of the second half. Of course, that's collegiately the 20 minutes, but very important. I'm letting him shoot.
I would too. I would too. That hurts us right there. When they get the ball inside, we just don't have an answer to that. We're going to have to force him off the block a little bit. I think that was tipped by the Saints.
I think it was.
I think it's going to come back to the Plugs. Yeah, they're so much bigger. We just got when that guy gets the ball down low or tries to set up position down low, we just got to push him off the block. You can't let him. It's easier said than done. He's a big kid.
And you also have to put a little pressure on the man with the ball to make it difficult for the pass to go inside.
Yes.
Turnover, and as you mentioned, empty possessions. If you watched the Purdue game last night against Minnesota, they 3 or 4 chances when you're up 5-6 points, opportunities to extend the lead to 7 or 8 and didn't. They had some empty possessions and they came back to bite them at the end.
I heard Gene Cady, I think, that's the guy we want taking the shot. He's just hitting. I heard Gene Cady, I believe it was, say once, we're going to take the possessions down into 3. We want to make sure that we stop them 3 straight possessions. We want to make sure we score 3 straight possessions and things can happen. So, let's see if the Plugs can score here in 3 straight possessions.
It's a good way.
There's one of them. There's one of them.
Drew Valentine, and I didn't see who called that timeout. I did. We probably.
That was called out Plugs.
Okay, Plugs called it. 38-22. Maybe that's, I think in practices, rather than just scrimmage up and down, we did not do a lot of that. We would go up and down a couple of times, but I think it's a great way to try to get your team in the flow of a game is how many stops in a row can you get here? How many times can we score in a row?
Exactly. Exactly. And if you got to, maybe you could even narrow it down to this. I want them to take a shot that's not on the inside. Let's make them make, if they hit 3-pointers, they hit 15-footers, 18-footers, you're probably going to lose the game. But let's make sure they don't get shots inside on the block. Let's force them to take something they're not used to.
And in a game like this for us, we can't take away everything.
Yep. Steal by the Plugs here.
Very nice drive.
Oh.
Good steal, nice drive by Evan Owens.
Just roll
Just
off.
the layup though. And a charge.
We got a charge there.
Jackson Smith taking that charge. When you're in a case like we are tonight, we talked about you can't take everything away. So you either take away the inside or you take away the outside.
Exactly.
If they beat you going the other direction, then they're going to beat you.
Yeah. Try to get them to do something that they're not used to doing.
Exactly.
If their strength is getting the ball inside, let's see if we can take that away and make them hit threes. They just hit some threes tonight.
Jackson Smith on the layup, missed it. We got a whistle. We got a foul against the Sparkplugs. Reese Walker on the foul. I believe that's his first.
We've had some good shots.
Yeah.
There we go.
Jackson Smith.
Take your time.
Jackson Smith on the miss. On the floor right now, John, for the Plugs, our front line, all underclassmen. We got a sophomore, 2 sophomores and a junior on the front line. Dale Bennett and Nate Metallic, Jackson Smith.
I think the only senior on the floor right now is Drew Valentine.
Right.
Is that correct?
That's correct. Reese Walker was the other player on the floor right now. So. And once again, I don't want to keep saying it, but if you just joined us, got a couple of players that starters are sitting out tonight because of contract tracing. Carson Harrison and Jacob Walker. So a little short-handed. Mitchell Lee with his 8th point and a foul, Drew Valentine. That's talked off camera here, but we used to talk about when we played Ben Davis when they were so good. Sometimes we would go into games, we need to get a rebound here. Sometimes we would go into games and we would break our games up into 4-minute segments. Of course, you're playing 32 minutes, so you have 8 4-minute segments to see how many of those 8 minutes.
It's a good way to look at it.
How many of those you could win. And regardless of what was happening, that was your goal.
Looks like the Plugs fell asleep there and gave up an easy shot and a foul.
But I think our players understood that. It's like, we don't have to win the whole game in one night.
It's a good way to look at it. Sometimes you try to think, well, we're down, we got to win. We got to catch up quickly. No, you got to break it down to possessions.
Yeah.
Let's win this possession. Let's win these next 3 possessions.
Mitchell Lee, we got a rebound, John. We're getting beat on the boards here. That's about 4 or 5 offensive rebounds in the last 3 possessions.
Yeah, when you play good enough defense to make them miss, that's great, but you got to get ones when they do miss.
we've talked a lot here due to our lack of height. Nice shot.
Jackson did a good job of pushing him off the block. He just hit a good shot.
He's a good player. It's important for our team to rebound by committee and chase down rebounds.
Yes. We got to get long rebounds.
Yes. Nice drive. Wouldn't go.
Got a foul on Jackson Smith. Change that. It's our name to talent.
At the line of 34, Katie Patterson.
Caden Patterson on the line. He's got 5 points tonight.
Coach Polly, back in the game to club until Speedway was
I didn't see that. Did that go in, John?
That did not.
Okay, good.
That did not.
I was watching something else here, and that one went in. That's Caden Patterson's 6th point of the night. Saints have doubled up on us.
Losing time in the game to try to get in a hurry. That's the last thing you want to do.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to do. It's okay to take your time. Good shot. Good shot by the Plugs. Good shot by Dave.
Bill Bennett, first bucket of the night. Coach Yanni Wooden, one of his famous sayings was to his team, be quick,
But don't hurry. Yep.
a wise.
There you go. There you go.
Ball
Good
down.
hustle.
Good effort by Bill Bennett.
back in the game. Number 1, Kristen.
You like to see your players get on the floor after the ball. It's,
I watched I don't know if you could call it a documentary,
Foul on
but when Coach K went to Duke, it's on ESPN at 30 for 30. And his first 2 years were under 500, very bad. And their players, all the old players were gathered. They won a national championship team 4 years later. But talking about the first practices and drills that players had to get on the floor, and how different it was from high school. Jay Billis was on that team. And he said the first practice, he's throwing balls on the floor, and we got to dive, and unlike anything we did, but that's what made us tough. That's what made us good players, a good team.
that's a tough rebound there. Good rebound by Evan Owens. Got a charge by Drew Valentine.
First of all, I really like how we responded to that dunk. While they're celebrating, let's get the ball down the floor. And
Yep, see if we can.
That was 2 points.
That's 2 points. We can get the ball down on the floor.
Really like how we responded. We just didn't finish it off. Drew Valentine playing hard. I know he's getting frustrated, but just keep the effort up.
Seems like the ball's just bouncing their direction. Even when it's deflected, it goes toward them. There you
Nice
go.
steal.
There you go. There you
Nice
go.
steal, Cale Bennett.
Good job, Cale Bennett.
Another word that you'll hear a lot that I just know, anticipation. Cale Bennett did a great job anticipating that pass. And I know you officiate college football. And that is a defensive back's dream, is to anticipate.
That's exactly right. A good defensive player will get you to think you can make that pass, too.
Exactly.
They won't deny, they'll get you to think you can make that pass. It's a great shot.
They'll bait you into it. You're exactly.
Ron, how many years did you coach at Speedway High School?
I was head coach here 9 years. I was at Southwestern Shelby for 2 years and Rensselaer Central for 4 years. Head coaches.
You mentioned to me about playing at Hanover. You know, I played with some really good players down there, and we were very successful at times. But you know, it's not the wins and losses, and you know, going to the national championship and that. It was even today, and I hope that's what these kids take out of this. Even today, some of my closest friends in the world are those teammates, those guys that we'll talk to each other throughout the year. And you know, sports is not, everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to, but sometimes sports is learning how to be a teammate, developing relationships with people you know you have a common bond with. That's what's so great about athletics. You walk away with things that sometimes people lose sight over what's important.
Exactly.
And you know, I hope that some of these kids realize how hard it is to win. Everybody can't do that, but they gain relationships here that maybe last a lifetime, and which is
Perfect way of saying it.
exactly what we want.
You know, this past week, Peyton Manning gets elected to the Hall of Fame, and that's the exact words what he said. He goes, this would not mean anything if you didn't have your teammates, not just to go through wins with, but to go through losses with and go through the journey with. He goes, that's what is important to me. You mirrored that statement exactly what you just said.
Yeah, I can, you know, like I said, I was fortunate enough to play on some very good teams down there, and I can't even tell you the records of the teams we played on, but I could tell you some of my teammates, what they're doing at this point in their life. They were very successful. So I just hope that's what our kids gain out of this stuff, that it's hard work.
Yeah.
It takes time, it takes commitment.
And that's why I'm so glad that we're able to be playing right now, so our players don't lose that year. And it's happened some places. I saw today in the paper where a college in Washington, D.C., Howard, that's where No Joe Eastern went originally, but they just today canceled their season.
Oh, wow.
And it's happened before. I think the women's team at Vanderbilt has canceled their season. So good that we're getting to play, and as you said, the important things, so many, you know. I talked to Brian Avery up here a couple weeks ago, and it's like, you have that part of the education, very important, and you have this part of the education, which is learn a lot of things. The difference is there's emotion here. You don't always have that emotion in the classroom. If you can get that, great, but it's not always
Life
there.
lessons, many life lessons happen in this gym.
Yep.
And some of them include winning, some of them include losing, and how do you handle that?
Yep.
What do you do to get better? Plugs start the fourth quarter in their man-to-man defense. We had a turnover there by the Saints.
51-28. Again on the floor for the Plugs, 4 underclassmen, a couple sophomores. Evan Owens on the miss. A little bit
too much mustard
A little
on that
bit,
hot
yes.
dog. Yeah.
A little bit of Al McGuire, a little bit too much mustard on the hot dog there.
Good job by Drew drawing a foul.
The line was foul. Drew Valentine is the line.
You know what I've liked watching about this team this year is they play hard.
Yes.
I mean, they're down several points tonight, but they don't have their head down. They're playing
No.
hard. They're going at it. And that's,
You know what? We're 4-8. We played again a night without some starters. We had a big break in the middle of the year, and these kids have fought not just from game to game, within games. Lutheran's in a difficult sectional. 3 teams in their sectional are in the top 10 in single A. So Greenwood Christian and Tinley.
Where's their sectional this year, do you know?
The boys sectional, I believe, is at Beach Grove, I think.
The draw for that comes up usually at about the end of February here in the next couple of weeks.
The draw probably still is 2 weeks away, I would imagine. Usually it's around the first week in March.
Yep.
It could be this week, given the weather, because you know the tradition of bad weather during sectional week.
Seems like it always snows in sectional week.
You know, I don't know. The class basketball for us has been a breath of fresh air. But I'm old school and I still enjoy the single class.
Yes, I do too.
Nice drive, Drew Valentine.
Very good drive.
Now, I think Kentucky still has the one class. They have what's called the Sweet 16, if I remember right. And
that is correct.
you have rounds leading up to them, but you get Final 16, and they come and they play 4 straight games.
Yeah, they have a very, very similar tournament. What's different is they call their, instead of sectionals, they call districts.
Okay.
And if you're a district winner or a district runner-up, you go to the regional. So in the regional, you don't have just sectional winners. If it is Indiana, you have a district winner and a district runner-up that gets it. So when you get to a regional game, your first game is against somebody that lost in the regional. It's interesting, but it's still a one-class tournament.
Right. Now, and I don't know if they still have this. They used to have, like in December, a state tournament for the smaller schools, even though the smaller schools, good bucket. Cale Bennett is 7th point of the night, but they used to have like a middle of the season 2A tournament, or not 2A, but small school. But then those teams also would qualify for the end of the year. But yeah, I missed the one class, but again, it's been a breath of fresh air for us.
It is. I think it's the right move.
Yeah. That was his first bucket of the night, John, and he's our leading scorer at 11 points.
You know, kudos to him as he's not trying to force things, even though he is the leading scorer of that. Taking shots has been given to him.
Good defense. Good box out by Drew Valentine. 4:30 remaining. Saints are leading 57-37. Cale Bennett.
Great shot.
And that's Cale's 10th point of the game, his second three-pointer. Reese Walker checking into the lineup.
You hit 4 or 5 more of those and things can change.
You know, I was talking about Lutheran's route. I kind of found it funny because one of my ex-assistants is the head coach at Orleans, which is a single A school. And in their sectional this year, they have Orleans, Bar Reeve, North Davies, and Lagodi. All 4 of them are in the top 10.
Yeah, yeah.
And the section that Lutheran's in has 3 of the top 10, I believe, at least of last week. So in single A, those 2 sectionals have 7 of the top 10 teams in the state of Indiana. So that's going to be a...
Be hard to get out of that section.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. But you know what? Those are fun.
That's Indiana basketball.
Those are
that
fun.
Is.
You're exactly right. Those are so much...
I hope that things change and they're able to put some more people in those gyms because, man, when they're packed, that's fun nights.
I saw you last week. I was here as well at the girls section. It was so much fun to see fans.
Yes.
Excited fans, which we have not seen all year. And there's just something different about sectional.
Back in the day when I was a high school coach, I used to coach at Avon High School, and they used to have Avon and Brownsburg and all. And they used to pack that old Brownsburg gym, and man, it was just, you couldn't even hear yourself talk. It was so fun. And I know there were many nights in here that it was hard to find a seat in Speedway when they would play. It's just, I'd love to see those games get back, those days get back.
You know, and I'm probably too much of a traditionalist, but I am older than you. I am a little bit older than 25.
You're 27?
Yeah. And I do remember when I was 7 years old in 1961 going to the sectional at Milan, and it snowed, and people got stuck at the school and had to stay there. And the sectionals got moved back to Monday night, but just over the years you remember things when you coached or when you were fans. Or, it's something about Indiana has that nobody else has. Yeah, we're getting into a little bit of just.
We're getting that part of the game where.
Yeah, a nice bucket there by number 4, Fabian. Getting into a little bit of AAU type here.
Yeah.
That was Ethan Cutshaw. Nice baseline pass, Drew Valentine. Can't find a range. Ball goes out of bounds. Sparkplugs will have a couple of substitutions here. Creighton Bennett, 6'2" sophomore, number 52 into the game, I believe. And Landon Short, 6'2" freshman, number 55 in the game. So, Plugs right now.
Awful young right now, aren't we?
Very young team. We've got Drew Valentine on the floor, but once again, 4 underclassmen. Got 2:30 to go in the game.
It's the time of the game where you're probably not going to win the game, to be realistic, but you want to do things that can maybe help you when you get to sectional time. You'll break things down right now and say, okay, what do we have to do in this next possession, these next 3 possessions? This is a sectional, what do we have to do? So, you know, it's realistically 2 minutes ago, you're not going to catch up, but what can we do to make ourselves better in this part of the game? That was a good job there, getting the ball inside and drawing the foul.
Creighton Bennett on the miss. We'll get a second shot. Missed that one. Good corner by Fabian. Fabian's 9th point of the evening.
Great pass behind the back. Wraparound pass there.
I think we got a timeout because we got a lot of bench players coming into the game.
Stop and play, getting those kids in and get a chance to play.
Well, Lutheran's got a nice ball club. Like I said, a very difficult sectional, but and that sectional is at Lutheran, I believe. So they will have the home court advantage.
Well, they've got a little bit of everything. They got a little size, a little girth.
Yep.
They can shoot the ball.
Yep.
Seems like they handle the ball fairly well. So, yeah, they'll be a tough out in the sectional.
Fabian on the 3. Eli Gibbons into the game for the Sparkplugs.
Got a foul on the Saints here. Cale Bennett to the line.
Both teams in the bonus. Cale Bennett's Cale Bennett's 11th point of the night. And 12th.
Got a nice rotation on the ball.
A lot of our players also, John, are multi-sport athletes. I have read where some college coaches, that's one of the first things they look at is see how many sports in high school.
I love that about our school. I love that we have a student that could be playing basketball or, at halftime we've had kids that even go get in the band halftime. I just think that's great.
Yeah.
Or they could be in the play, or they could sing in the choir. I just think it's great.
A lot of colleges now are putting less emphasis, not de-emphasis, but less emphasis on testing scores and more emphasis on their extracurricular activities, their leadership abilities in school.
Absolutely. Used to be that it was only an SAT score or ACT score. Now they're de-emphasizing those, and they're emphasizing activities that they have in school, whether that be sports or clubs, and they've kind of got a correlation of success in life and being involved in those kind of things. So, yeah, it's great that we have kids that involve themselves in more than one sport.
Yep. 32 seconds to go. 71-44. We got a foul. Looks like we're going to be sending Reese Walker back to the line. He'll be shooting 2, double bonus for Reese. Okay, I'll say it. 5 for 5 from the line. I didn't want to say it earlier there. I probably shouldn't have said that, but 5 for 5 from the line tonight for Reese. And good. Didn't jinx him.
Got the bottom of the net both times.
Yep. Ooh, nice pass inside. Eli Givens on the drive. Shot is knocked back. And final score, Lutheran 71, Speedway 46. We'll be back in just a second with the scoring and a couple of final comments.
Please be courteous and help pick up any signs in your area. Posting strategy located around the center. Thank you for your assistance. We ask that you please exit the building shortly.
Welcome back to Pollard Gymnasium tonight, where the Lutheran Saints defeated a short-handed Speedway Sparkplugs 71-46. Just real quickly, some scoring. First of all, for the Sparkplugs, Sparkplugs had 5 people in the scoring column. Reese Walker 10, Nate Metallic 11, Drew Valentine 11, Cale Bennett 12, Jackson Smith 2, for a total of 46. The top 10 rated single A team from Lutheran tonight. A lot of people in the scoring column. Joe Fabian, the second leading scorer with 12. Mitchell Lee 10. Very balanced, as you were talking about earlier. Cade Patterson 8. Maurice McGee 8. Matthias McKay 2. Christian Smith 3. Montez Clay 2. I think I got them all there. For a total of 71. So once again, 71-46. They go to, Lutheran goes to 17-3 for the season. John, just some real quick last thoughts about tonight's game.
Well, Lutheran's got a really good team. A really good team is very balanced scoring, like we said. They're big. They shoot the ball well. They handle the ball well. The Sparkplugs have got some bright spots in there tonight also. If they're going to be successful, they've got to hit those open shots. Some of those weren't falling tonight. They will in the future. I've got all the confidence in the world in them, and they will. But it's all like we talked about during the game. It's all about possession by possession. If they can make their shots, they could be a tough out. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do in the next few nights, and then what happens in the sectionals.
Good. We have Plugs tomorrow. We'll travel to Whiteland for a game, and I believe we have 2 more home games Tuesday night against Ritter, and we end up the season at home February 26th with Triton Central, a couple of road games there in between. Once again, 71-46. John, thanks a lot for coming up tonight and helping us out, and once again, happy birthday, happy 25th birthday. Go home and enjoy it, and we'll be back with Coach Bennett here in just a couple of minutes on his thoughts about the game. Welcome back to Pollard Gymnasium. We're tonight's Lutheran Saints 71, Speedway 46. Here with Coach Chuck Bennett. Coach Bennett, you had obviously a shorthanded group tonight, playing a team right now that's 17-3, rated in the top 10 in the state in single A basketball. But some of the players that have not, this might have been kind of a blessing, you never know, got into some big time varsity action tonight, starting, maybe not only starting, but playing, contributing. So I would take that away as a big positive. Of course, as always, playing very, very hard. But thoughts on tonight's game other than that?
Real proud of my kids. I think it would have been easy. Anybody watching at home, I mean, you can appreciate probably how hard they can play, but when you're in person, you see that they're still battling up to the end. Every single kid still battling. And when I call a timeout with 4 minutes to go and we're down 17, thinking that we somehow cut it a little bit more, our kids are panting in the huddle and playing hard. So I would give some credit to my kids. And I thought we did a pretty good job. Obviously, after the first quarter, I think it was 14-11. We were right where, or 13-11, something like that. We were right where we wanted to be. Second quarter, offensively, we got a little stagnant. We did miss some shots. We didn't finish some shots. But again, part of that's a product of probably pushing too much a little bit, putting pressure on ourselves, thinking a couple guys are gone and stuff. But, then I think you could see in the third quarter, and then into the fourth quarter, we settled down a little bit, started running a little bit better offense, moving the basketball a little bit, figuring out that, we could drive the lane, kick it out. So, again, not to take anything away from Lutheran, because, our game plan was to take away 2 and 4. We thought they were players, but they're big guys, stepped out, hit a couple shots. But again, that's what we wanted. We wanted to dare them, so to speak, to beat us. And
Sure.
Again, they're athletic. You could see that. Our kids, just continue to battle. And sometimes, again, you can do everything in your power to step into a guy, box out, be 5'8", like I know Reese Walker got a foul called him that I thought was a box out. But again, I'm not going to fault the effort. And then, we talked to our kids. Luckily for us, we could turn around and play in less than 24 hours. Now, it's going to be another big 4A school, Whiteland. They're 9-6, I think, 10-6. They got some good players, but I also firmly believe our kids will be back in tomorrow for a run-through. We'll get it all taken care of, and then I feel a good battle coming on again at Whiteland tomorrow night, too.
You talked about just a second ago about taking away things, and we talked about during the game, when you play a team like this, especially a little shorthanded, they're a good team. They can beat you different ways, but you went to the triangle and 2 one time, and you can't take away everything. You can take away some things. I don't know if you know this or not, but according to Max Preps, Morris McGee tonight had 2 3-pointers, and it's the first 2 3-point shots he's taken all year. And we just said, that's a shot you want to give to them. And of course he hits them. Yeah. And so nothing you can do about that.
And just, we divide up the scouting responsibilities. We all take a look at it, but this was Coach Murley's main scout tonight. And, I'll just say he had it down to the pat where, he knew that too. He hadn't hit a 3-pointer all year. And we've watched 4 games on tape on them, and we haven't seen. So you try to take something away, and then they do something.
It was the first possession of the game, if I remember right. Yeah. I'm going like,
and kudos to them. They made the plays that they needed to make. So,
Sure. Well, you got Whiteland tomorrow. Then we got a lot of games left. We still got.
We're on the NBA schedule. Whiteland, and next Tuesday, the 16th, we're at home against Ritter, big conference rival game. Then on the 19th, we travel to Bethesda. The 20th, afternoon game against Cascade. JV starts at 3, so come on out and see that. And then we travel to Western Boone on the 23rd, and then we're back home for final senior night on the 26th. And I say we try to fill the gym to 25% capacity and get 700 people in here for our seniors, because they deserve it. We'll have 100 cardboard cutouts because we're doing pack the stands, pack the pantries. So we get them there, and plus another 700. Our seniors deserve a good send-out, and it'll be a good game. So
Perfect. Well, again, we'll be looking forward to the rest of the season and getting close to the sectional tournament time. And as you know, my favorite time of the year. So once again, 71-46. For all the people from the TV station, Bill P., Brian Pierce, Blake Flynn.
Yes.
Thank you guys for coming out when it's 10 degrees outside. We appreciate it. It's fun
and Brian Pierce just had a new little one, and he's running on 0 sleep. So
exactly.
So everyone out there who's had kids, are you sleeping through the night yet? You get a chuckle. So all right.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, and we'll look for you next home game. Have a good night.